Now on Coast TV News.
Paying at state parks. Delaware looking to charge more for biking to the beaches and more along the coast.
Searching for answers about what caused this Dagsboro home to explode.
Thousands of tiny clams taking on a big job in the Assawoman Bay. How students and scientists are helping nature.
It's been a windy Wednesday to kick off October. The winds will diminish with the fall chill still sticking around the rest of the weekend. A weekend warm-up on the way. Details coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Entering Delaware State Parks, but the price to do that could double. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with a call for public input on parks and prices.
On your screen now is Cape Henlopen State Park, one of Delaware's 17 state parks, and all combined they draw millions of people to the first state every year. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live there in Cape Henlopen. Emma, that scenic visit that so many people love could see a big price hike soon.
Maddie, here at Cape Henlopen State Park, DNREC calls this a part of their award-winning state park system. Not only did Delaware State Parks draw 7 million people last year, but they also generated almost $1 billion for state tourism and businesses. But to keep all of this up, DNREC is proposing some drastic price increases.
Bird watching. That's just one of many activities Mary Beth Medlock enjoys in Delaware State Parks, like Cape Henlopen, but she's worried about how busy these areas can get, especially in the summer. That's one reason why Medlock supports DNREC's proposed fee increases.
And she said there is a sign that said, "The park's full. We're beyond capacity."
DNREC is proposing a wide variety of price changes. For example, at beach parks, Delaware cars currently pay $5 daily. That could jump to $10. For out-of-state cars, that same pass could go from $10 to $20. For annual passes, the in-state rate of $35 could jump to $50. And if you're visiting from out-of-state, a $70 annual pass could increase to $100. Out-of-staters Beth and John Wolgamuth say if DNREC raises the prices too much, it will push people away.
I could see them increasing the in-state from $5 to $7.50, something like that. That would make a lot more sense to me. But to put it so high for out-of-state, you just stop people coming to the state.
DNREC says they're proposing these fee increases because demand is at a record high, and they haven't increased the daily pass rates or the annual pass rates since 2015. But in that same 10-year period, operating costs have increased by 127%.
Local Bill Biles is a little conflicted, but says the rate change would be good for the longevity of the parks.
I hate to see them raise the rates because it's such a beautiful park, but I don't want to see the park, deteriorate either. So
another price hike to consider, lifetime passes could take a hit too. That's those available to Delaware residents aged 65 or older. Right now they cost $65. That would bump up to $150. With only so much park to go around and the cost of maintaining the land rising, record demand could lead to higher prices if the proposal moves forward.
I do want to reiterate that "if" is the key word in that last line, and DNREC does want your opinion, which is why they are hosting a series of open houses, one tonight here at Cape Henlopen State Park from 5:30 to 7 in the Officers Club. You can share your input. You can also participate in a survey online, and we have that linked on CoastTV.com. Reporting live here in Lewis, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Delaware State Parks say Delawareans spend more on surf permits, annual and lifetime park passes, but out-of-state visitors are spending much more on overall park revenue. Let's take a look at the breakdown here. Non-residents, shown in green, are 67% of total state park revenue. Now, Delawareans in blue account for just 33%.
And all of this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, would higher fees change your park visits?
Let's take a look at the results so far. 50% say they would visit less. 47% those say no change. 0% would visit more after an increase. Makes sense to me. Yeah, and 3% say they're not sure.
Now, if you haven't voted yet, or if you want to leave a comment, it's easy to do. Go to CoastTV.com or use our Coast TV mobile app. We now know the name of the person who was killed in yesterday's house explosion in Dagsboro. Neighbors confirming Claudia Gaskill died in the explosion. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Dagsboro. Brandon, the state fire marshal says the investigation, that's still ongoing.
Charlie, the fire marshal not confirming yet of what caused this explosion here in Dagsboro, but neighbors suspect a gas dryer exposed this explosion here. And I want you to look across the street. Notice all the debris on this side, but look to the back. You see this section taped off. Those are the appliances from the household. And neighbors we spoke with say Claudia's brother was at home at the time of this explosion, and they could feel the boom from up to a mile away. Neighbors we spoke with are still coming to grips with what happened here.
Claudia, she was kind of a quiet person, didn't say a whole lot.
It hurts. You don't understand it.
And I want you to look across the street here at the debris. Look at the white wood, the paint you can see. And when you look at the debris, notice how you don't see any char or smoke-like effects. Firefighters we spoke with say that's a sign of a flash fire, which is the result of a gas explosion. Live in Dagsboro, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Thousands of clams like these were released into the Assawoman Bay today. Delaware Sea Grant and students from Sussex Central High School teamed up to sprinkle them in Fenwick Island as part of an effort to improve water quality and give students a hands-on lesson in marine science. According to the hatchery coordinator, the tiny clams help water quality.
2 to 3 years, they should be good enough size to harvest. All while they're out here, they're filtering the water, so they're creating a benefit while they're here.
The expert behind the hatchery says she doesn't expect all of the clams to survive, but if even half make it, it could make a real difference.
Let's go ahead and take a live look into the Cambridge area right now as we check in with our first alert meteorologist, Bob Trihebe. Bob, middle of the week here, what's the weather doing?
Well, I tell you what, it is a cool start to the month of October and breezy as well. In fact, windy at the beaches. We have wind gusts close to 40 miles per hour. They have died off a little bit. 31 at Indian River Inlet, 26 in Ocean City, and about 15 to 20 miles per hour inland. And it's much cooler. 68 in Georgetown, 70 in Seaford, 66 in Ocean Pines, with Bethany Beach at 66. So definitely feel a fall in the air. As we have partly cloudy skies, we have some cumulus clouds out there, but those will tend to die away once the sun goes down. We're in a strong northeast flow around high pressure to the north and the tropical systems off to our south and east. Coastal flood advisory continues for coastal Delaware until this evening, and we're looking at maybe an inundation up to a foot during high tide. That's also the case into Worcester County, with small craft advisories continuing as we go into Friday. As we're seeing the winds dying down, but still a little breezy at the coast, and then temperatures falling into the 50s. Cool the next couple of days, and a warm up into the weekend. Forecast details coming up shortly.
Travelers, listen up. Breeze Airways has launched service from Salisbury Airport to Orlando. The airline will fly nonstop twice a week. That'll be on Mondays and Fridays.
This marks the first new commercial route at Salisbury Regional Airport in years, as previously only Piedmont Airlines, which operates under American Airlines, flew from Charlotte to Philadelphia.
To the Breeze team, welcome home. We are thrilled to have you here, and we know that the community will embrace you with open arms. From family vacations to business trips to reunions with loved ones, you now play a part in so many of the memories in our region and for people across the shore.
Breeze fares to Orlando start at $59 each way, though you do have to pay more for seat selection, luggage, and other things like that. Chincoteague's National Wildlife Refuge will remain open during normal hours for the duration of the government shutdown. That's according to the Chamber of Commerce, but park officials say their Bateman Center, Tom's Cove Visitor Center, and Assateague Lighthouse, those will all be closed.
The Senate failed in 2 votes today to reopen the government. Congress is now out for the Jewish holiday, which means this shutdown will last at least 2 days.
The administration says layoffs will begin in 1 to 2 days. NBC's Monica Alba shows us what will and won't stay open and what tourists can expect.
The reality of a government shutdown rippling across the country today.
Just get your business done and get on with life.
Some of the nation's most iconic parks, monuments, and museums closed, leaving tourists disappointed.
I did not think that they would shut down the government, and yes, very disappointed.
But they did. Now Democrats and Republicans in full-on finger pointing.
and they have taken the American people hostage in a way that they think benefits them politically.
We are on the brink of a healthcare crisis. And so that's what we're standing up for. And we are standing up for those American workers.
The standing rules of the Senate.
Senators again today failing to pass measures that would reopen the government. The main sticking point, healthcare. Democrats want to negotiate now to restore funds to Medicaid and extend subsidies for Obamacare. Those expire at the end of the year, and analysts say without them, premiums will skyrocket. Republicans say they want to negotiate that later. With both sides digging in, Americans are weighing in.
If they would just look out what's best for everybody and just get down to business.
For now, emergency services will continue to operate. But this shutdown does impact a large swath of the federal government. Late today, NBC News learning the Office of Management and Budget Director told House Republicans the administration will begin reduction in force plans in 1 to 2 days.
We're not targeting federal agencies based on politics. We're targeting the people's government so that as much as possible of the essential services can continue to function.
Many others, like TSA officers at airports, will work, but without pay. One tourist in the nation's capital stressing this.
Trump, please get it open before I go back to Dallas on Saturday.
But that wish is unlikely to be granted. Even if the Senate can come to an agreement on how to reopen the government, the House isn't scheduled to come back until next week. Monica Alba, NBC News, Washington.
New tonight, the woman who changed the way the world looks at wildlife is gone. Legendary conservationist Dr. Jane Goodall died of natural causes. Goodall's field of work with chimpanzees included documentation of the primates' emotions and personality traits. Goodall is also credited with changing the overall way scientists study animals.
Here's a live look into Lewis right now in the Irish Ice Camp. Blue skies, 69, still breezy, and that fall chill is in the air. That's going to be around a couple of days and then a weekend warm-up. Forecast details coming up a little bit later on.
Heads up drivers, new fees on Delmarva, how much and where?
But first, General Karen Berry sworn in as Delaware's first Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Her top priorities of the new department up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Lawmakers, advocates, and veterans gathered as General Karen Berry was sworn in as the state's first Secretary of Veterans Affairs today. The new department was created this year to be a cabinet-level voice for the state's thousands of veterans.
For many, Berry's leadership is more than a title. It's a promise that their voices will finally be heard.
For so long we've been, shuttled to the back and overlooked and underestimated. And I think she is the perfect example of what our service members are like and what they can do.
General Berry says that starting as early as next week, she plans to meet with veteran communities across the state.
Here's a look at your bay forecast for your Thursday. UV index is high, waves around 1 to 2 feet. Cool in Cambridge with upper 60s there, mid to upper 60s in Crisfield with a mix of sun and clouds. Not as windy, and it's going to be kind of a fall feel the next couple of days with a warm up into the weekend. Forecast details coming up shortly. Well, we turned the calendar page to October 1st, and boy, did it feel like it today. It was cool, had that crisp feel, and it was windy as well. Only 70 in Georgetown today, 72 in Salisbury. Temperatures running a little bit below average. Cambridge 72, Ocean City at 70. As we look out at the rough ocean right now, it is breezy to windy. It's much cooler this evening. Comfortable, but windy at the coast. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour and dangerous surf. And then later in the week, sensational autumn feel, highs in the 60s and 70s. Lows in the 40s and 50s, and watch for high rip currents. Our wind speeds now still pretty strong at the coast, around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Not as strong inland areas, but still gusting to 30 at Indian River Inlet, 26 in Ocean City. And we had gusts earlier up to about 40 miles per hour, and all that wind is piling up the water and causing some flooding conditions, especially at time of high tide. With a coastal flood advisory for the Delaware beaches, could see inundation up to a foot for the next high tide overnight. With the coastal flood advisory as well for Worcester. And we're also looking at a small craft advisory that has been downgraded from a gale warning for the bays and the oceans. That continues right through Saturday morning. And it's cool out there. 70 in Laurel, 68 Georgetown and Long Neck, Willard 67, 66 in Bethany Beach right now. As we have a few clouds out there, but those are the cumulus clouds that are called diurnal, that they pop up during the day and then they pretty much go away at night. But we've got a strong northeast flow with strong high pressure to our west and north. And then we've got Hurricane Imelda out to sea right now. But this high will pretty much dominate our weather across the East Coast the next few days. Here's a scenario. We have Hurricane Imelda now. It's going to be bearing down on the Bahamas, and in fact Bermuda, I should say, the next couple of days, and high pressure to the north. So this high is keeping Imelda to the south, still breezy. That coastal flooding still possible at the next high tide, and still dangerous rip currents and swells as we go through time. As we're looking along the coast tomorrow, we're only in the upper 60s from Lewis to Dewey Beach, Bethany and Chincoteague, and those winds still puffing out of the northeast up to 25 miles per hour, and still pretty breezy this evening with temperatures in the 60s. And then tomorrow morning, 50s and 60s, still breezy tomorrow, and highs only into, say, the upper 60s and low 70s. And then pretty cool tomorrow night as the winds get lighter. We're looking at temperatures dipping into the 40s and low 50s as we're seeing winds gusting close to 30 miles per hour this evening, but then dying down, especially as we go into your Friday morning. As we look at the muggy meter, it is comfortable now, but then it gets a little muggy as we go into the upcoming weekend, as we see Imelda, a Category 2 hurricane, and the remnants of Umberto, as we watch Imelda pretty much go right over Bermuda here the next couple of days and then out to sea. 54 tonight, mostly clear, breezy and cold. 68 tomorrow with a chilly breeze. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, warming up into the weekend with mids to upper 70s, lows in the 50s. Next rain chance doesn't come until Wednesday with a high of 77.
Thanks, Bob. The Delmarva Sports Network covering marching band competitions featuring over a dozen schools from across the peninsula. The competitions stream exclusively on DSN+. The next one is scheduled for October 18th.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network at 5:30, it's Pro Foot Volleyball Episode 1. Then at 10:30, catch the final score.
We salute Irv Hudson, a proud World War II veteran who served under General George Patton and fought bravely in the Battle of the Bulge. A lifelong resident of Ocean View, Irv recently celebrated his 100th birthday at VFW Post 7234, an incredible milestone for a true American hero. His legacy of service and strength continues to inspire all who know him.
Spicer Brothers and CoastTV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a CoastTV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Starting today in Maryland, the Motor Vehicle Administration is enforcing tougher penalties and rolling out new services. One new law requires the MVA to revoke licenses for anyone convicted of impaired driving that causes a deadly or life-threatening crash or for leaving the scene. Now, for a commercial driver who's convicted of being under the influence, they'll lose their commercial driving privileges for at least a year, with repeat offenders facing a lifetime ban.
Delaware State Police say continuing checkpoints are part of ongoing efforts to reduce impaired driving. New data from upstate says officers screened 228 cars. They made 5 DUI arrests along with 12 other traffic-related stops.
A live look into Rehoboth Beach. One more check on your forecast after this. The Chincoteague National Wildlife Refuge has announced the winner of its annual photo contest. The winning photo, Trying to Think, by Terry Willis of Maryland.
You're looking at a tri-colored heron perched thoughtfully along the shoreline.
Cool.
Just north of the Assateague Bridge. I like he's taking like a big step there. The judge said what makes this picture special is that it was taken from a kayak. The photo will be featured on Chincoteague's 2026 annual pass. Coming up on Coast TV News at 6, how new lane closures on Route 1 and 16 are going to affect drivers in Milton.
And congratulations to our umbrella winner today. It is Joel Wolf from Bridgeville, and courtesy of Paul Davis and Coast TV, Joel has a brand new umbrella. Won't need it this evening, but you'll need that windbreaker as we're looking at temperatures falling from the 60s into the 50s with diminishing winds. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. Pretty cool the next couple of days. Overnight lows near 50 Friday morning. Warming up into the weekend with mid to upper 70s. Looking dry and sunny. In fact, pretty dry into early next week. Looks like our next rain chance comes Wednesday. Then to start to cool down again after that.
Thank you, Bob, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, for more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.